In just moments, President Biden will take part in the first I2U2 summit with the leaders of Israel, India. They're the two I's,
yes,
and the United States, and of course the United Arab Emirates. There's the second U.
Joining us live, Congressman Michael Waltz of the House Armed Services Committee. Congressman, good morning. It's great to see you. So the president is in Israel right now. Tomorrow he's going to be meeting with Palestinian leaders, and then he's off to Saudi Arabia. What do you think is going to come out of this trip?
Well, I think one of the main things that I look to hear when the president has his press conference is a very clear statement, unambiguous, no gaffes, that Iran absolutely cannot have a nuclear weapon, and we will stand with Israel and use all elements of national power. All elements are on the table and all options are on the table to stop Iran from getting a nuclear weapon. That needs to be crystal clear. The Iranians need to get the message, and the entire region needs to get the message. And why do Americans care so much? Look, if Iran gets a nuke, it would be like the Taliban getting a nuclear weapon. And what they could do with that, we've seen what Russia is doing under the threat of a nuclear umbrella. And then number two, the entire region will explode in a nuclear arms race. The Saudis, the Turks, maybe even the Emiratis and others will want nuclear weapons too. And no one wants to live in a world where the Middle East is under mutually assured destruction.
But Congressman, realistically, is there any chance that Joe Biden makes that speech that you want him to make today?
You know, he's talking the talk. His officials are talking the talk, kind of behind the scenes and off the record. So that's what we have to see from him. That's what we have to see, strength on the international stage in the Middle East. You guys know I've served all across South Asia, Afghanistan, the Middle East, Africa. In that part of the world, they respect strength, they respect resolve, and we need to be very clear what the United States is willing and not willing to do. And this is a time for the commander-in-chief to step up.
Yeah, and you know, President Biden right now is doing something that really he's never done before in his presidency, and it's embracing one of former President Trump's foreign policy achievements in the Abraham Accords, and he's trying to expand that with Israel and Saudi Arabia. He's getting a lot of pushback, especially within his own party, for meeting with Saudi Arabian officials tomorrow. But in light of the fact that Iran does have enough enriched uranium to make a nuclear weapon within weeks if they wanted to, how important is brokering this deal, this peace agreement between Israel and Saudi Arabia?
Well, you know, I think it was sad and frankly petty politics that Joe Biden, in his op-ed, that he had to put out there in the Washington Post to kind of defend himself from even going, mainly to his left, didn't even mention the Abraham Accords. You know, the whole reason that he's able to go from Israel directly to Saudi Arabia and have this dialogue is because of President Trump's groundbreaking, historic achievement with the Abraham Accords. Here nor there, President Biden has to sit that petty politics aside and build on those achievements. And the reason that they are all coming together is because of Iran. And because of the threat of Iran that is threatening to, one, have a nuclear weapon, to wipe Israel off the map. So I really hope that he steps up and will talk about it, will reaffirm it, will move forward. And then finally, obviously, the reason, the underlying reason that he's there is to get the Saudis and the Gulf nations to pump more oil. And, you know, it's only because of his asinine energy policy back here at home, his war on American energy, that he has to do this in the first place. How about we defund dictatorships like Iran, Venezuela, and others with producing American oil, and he wouldn't be in the situation in the first place if he would just do that and take on the progressives and unleash American energy.
You know, Congressman, I got 30 seconds to you, but in President Biden's op-ed that you mentioned, he did say that the Middle East is more stable and secure now than what he inherited 18 months ago. Given the fact that the one-year anniversary of the Afghan withdrawal is coming up, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, the entire world saw us run from a terrorist organization in the Taliban. And listen, they now have a super state, and Al-Qaeda and ISIS are once again reconstituting to attack the United States again. It is happening right now as we speak.
It's a sad reality.
So listen,
yeah.
this is the time to show strength and resolve, and we can't have another Afghanistan
Certainly
on his
is.
watch.
Congressman, thank you so much.